Jim, our next question sent to CornyDriveThru at gmail.com from Arya Whitner. Jim, when you'd come up with a character or gimmick, would you create a gimmick and find someone who would fit it? Or talk to a wrestler, find some interesting personality traits, and come up with something from there?
Yeah, well, no and yes in that order. If you're a booker or if you're a wrestler or a talent, sometimes you come up with a thought, boy, this would be a great gimmick. But then maybe, well, probably not for me, but boy, it'd be great. I've talked to Bobby Fulton, who always used to, he is just a huge wrestling fan in general, but used to like to come up with different gimmicks or whatever. It wouldn't be, it's something that the particular individual might be able to do, but maybe he might see somebody later on in a locker room somewhere, you know what I thought of? And maybe that guy likes the idea. But if you're a booker or a promoter, you want to, as a booker, you either see talent somewhere that's not working for you and you say, I would like to bring them in and this is what I would do with them. But it would be based on some impression that you got from that talent. Maybe not sitting down and going over his whole background. That's done. That's what you do. That's what I did with the guys in OVW or Ring of Honor in some cases. It's what you do. But if you just see somebody at first glance, you say, that guy's a fucking caveman, or that guy, whatever. Or you hear a promo and you say, oh, I can see him, a guy like this in my head talking like that. That's a way to promote somebody that you see as, okay, you're a movie director and you're finding unknown talent that you think you have a part for. And maybe if you're a writer and director, then you're writing the thing. Oh, this guy, I could fucking write. I could kind of take off on this guy a little bit. You see what I'm saying? Or if you inherit the job and there's somebody in the territory or in the company that, you know, is there and you say, well, you know, I get this mindset from this guy, or I get this impression from this guy. Or if you amplified this or that attribute that this guy has, whether it be personality wise or physically or whatever, what would this guy look like or sound like if he had this mindset? And you tweak shit. That's why to me, the modern day wrestling writers come up with a fucking gimmick and then find somebody to play the part, which is like making a suit and then finding somebody that fits it. It's ass backwards. Because just because you've come up with this great fucking gimmick in your mind doesn't mean you can find anybody to actually pull it off. What if Mark Calloway hadn't been around to be the Undertaker? How far would that have flown? So the writers overstate their importance when they think they're in television and entertainment and they're writing a part and then casting it. A wrestling matchmaker or booker sees a talent and figures out a way to enhance them, promote them, develop them, give them something else that they can use to be hopefully a bigger attraction in that area or maybe everywhere, in a nutshell.
Do you have any gimmicks that you never got to do? You never found the right guy, but something you had in your head?
Over the years, I've had a bunch of them, and I can't think of any right now, to be honest with you, just because it moves on. You know, and you can have ideas and say, boy, that would be good. But then if you never found somebody to do it, you don't know whether it would have been good or not, or if the opportunity didn't come along, or if I'd have had so-and-so 2 years before I actually got him, that was the perfect time for him, but it didn't work as it was because he had to follow so-and-so. But there was one thing I wanted to do, and I couldn't get OVW developed in time. When I came here in 99, I wanted Tracy Smothers to be involved because not only of what a talent he was, and he lived 3 hours away and he could draw you some money, but also as a training exercise, having him working with anybody in a territory that they were going to be better students, right? But I thought, what if we, instead of the good old fashioned Southern boy, because it fits more up here, what if we made him, and this was 25 years ago, but what if we made him the disgruntled Southern boy to kind of mimic, John Mellencamp is from 50 miles up the road in Seymour. He did Farm Aid. He wrote Rain on the Scarecrow. What if Tracy was disgruntled in the more modern era about how you couldn't go out hunting with your coon dog anymore? Just update people who exist or change them around, but they already exist and you're getting ideas based on who they are, whatever the fuck, right? And not, of course, there's always an exception. Kamala, there was, that was what it was. But you couldn't probably get away with it. I'm not talking about the ethnic aspect. I'm talking about you couldn't get away with, in today's modern era with the Google and the computer, with getting people to believe that you just found some grown adult in the jungle and he's never existed before. They would know who he was and that he was from Mississippi, not Uganda.